Now, let's say I wanted to play a game and I happen to work in media. Follow me here. I want to play a game and I say, every day, all of us, not just the people that I report on, but all of us are faced with a million possibilities, and they are endless, truly infinite possibilities. And I want to play a game because I don't have anything else to write about today. And I want to piss people off. I like pissing them off because then they click on my article and then I get ad dollars and I get paid and I get promotions and I raise my profile. And does it mean it's at the expense of my integrity? Yes. But I don't care because I want to make money. I want to be a hater. I don't have a soul. And so I'm going to use my job to play with possibilities and put them in bold font on the cover of publications that used to be reputable, not so much anymore. So let's use Meghan as our subject. Let's say this morning, Meghan woke up and decided she wanted breakfast. Already right there, there's an assumption. We don't even know if she's hungry. But let's keep going. I want to name this game something. If you have a suggestion for the name of this game, let me know. We say, you know what? Meghan probably wants some kind of spread and some kind of carb. There are so many assumptions just in that statement alone. So she decides to surpass the honey that's likely already on her island, on her table, in her pantry. Instead, she decides to go outside and get it straight from the source. There are a million possibilities associated with those assumptions right now. See how far we're getting? We don't even know if Meghan decided to eat this morning. We've already gone down this trail so far. Let's continue. We're already on our way. So the bee lands on Meghan, this fictional made up bee that landed on her hand, and she thumps the bee. Completely out of character. Nothing like the real woman that we've seen and come to know. None of that matters in this scenario because I'm playing the game of possibilities. It's a very ridiculous game. Follow me. So she thumps this fictional bee with a fictional hand because I've just made all this up. I don't even know if Meghan thumps things, but she thumps this fictional bee. It falls over on the side and it's struggling. Turns out the bee doesn't make it. This fictional bee lost its fictional life because she fictionally thumped the shit out of it when she was getting this fictional fresh honey for this breakfast that we don't even know if she ate or even wanted. Now, let's say because I work in media in this fictional game, I'm going to write 1,000,001 stories sympathizing with the bee because how could she do this? And then several other people are going to write stories about that bee and they're going to interview the bee's family. Now, do they know this fictional bee? No, because the bee doesn't exist. So that means, does the bee have a family? Not possible. So they're going to go interview a random bee in their local neck of the woods who is a distant cousin of this fictional bee. Now, do I have the time to go and research this fictional bee's genealogy? No. Do you? No. Do we even have the resources for something like that? No. Can you even do that? Probably not. Is there science behind that? Likely no. Doesn't matter. We're playing this game that I'm waiting on you to name in the comment section. Let's continue. So they're going to interview this bee. Now they got months of content from that. They're going to have a funeral for the dead bee, empty casket, I'm sure, because the bee didn't exist. And they're going to demonize this woman based on an assumption I made about a breakfast she didn't have. Whether or not she was hungry doesn't matter. Name that publication. Who did this and who does this? Well, I can tell you who we're going to discuss today. People Magazine. Sometimes they get it really right. Sometimes they're even granted exclusives. I mean, they used to be very reputable. And sometimes they still get it right. But then sometimes, like today, they get it very, very wrong. And while this game, I'm still waiting to name, please let me know what you want me to name it in the comment section below. While they still play this game, I think in large part, they rely on people to just let them slide. I think they rely on people to just say, well, it's a possibility. Doesn't mean they're lying, but it also doesn't make it true. Is it hurting anybody? No. Yes and no, because it's not about this article today. It's about the conversations that spawn from it. It's about people over time. And when I say over time, I don't mean over the course of weeks, months, and years. I mean over the course of a few minutes. Having this discussion so frequently that it suddenly becomes less of a possibility and more of a, I'm speaking about this in truth. And then it becomes another story and another story. And there's all these random untrue stories woven together by the premise of a possibility. And that is unfair to the subject. And the person they always deem worthy of this kind of treatment is Harry or Meghan or both. Now, I decide on a case by case basis. If something is big enough, will I talk about it? Will I not? No, because one, my voice is a drop in the bucket. But because I firmly believe in having a microphone in front of me means I have a responsibility to bring truth and honesty and authenticity. Today, I decided to do so. I don't want to necessarily talk about the misconceptions created by this story that was written in People magazine, although we will talk about it so that you have context. I want to talk about the practice itself. I want to talk about what this does overall, how this becomes a much bigger issue. Sure, this is just one story today, but this is today. This consistently happens, and it has consistently happened for years, for decades, as long as the media has existed. They have carefully curated narratives and destroyed lives in the process. And it's one of the main reasons why, when I decided how I wanted to use my channel and what direction I wanted my channel to go in, it's one of the reasons why I settled on, hey, I actually think the bigger context, or I actually think the majority of my content should be centered around these people and their work and their advocacy and also their story on many levels, because they've got something to say. They're actually doing something, and I want to contribute to their movement. Harry and Meghan calling out the media isn't them using it as an axe to grind. Although if they did, they would have my full support because they deserve it. The media has acted an ass with Harry and Meghan. But no, it's not just having an axe to grind. It's providing truth and clarity. And y'all know my saying, clarity is kindness. If you can keep it real with me, I can trust you. And that is the kindest thing you can do for me, is not have me living in an alternate world and I don't know what's going on, but I think I do. That's actually quite cruel. And whether that's done to you with a smile or a frown, it's cruel. But honesty, that's the name of the game. And when Harry and Meghan call out the media, when they call out mistruths, and when they call out outright lies and deception, they're doing all of us a favor. Not just them, although they do deserve the right to correct their narrative. Everyone does. Everyone has the right to represent themselves authentically and be represented truthfully. And when people take it upon themselves to advocate for themselves, I applaud them, because we all should have that right. And we all don't. But when people take these opportunities to create stories, whether it's about where someone will be in a few years, or if someone's going to visit, or if someone's going to bring their kids, while these stories aren't in nature cruel, they are deceptive. And deception is cruelty. This is why I like talking about this. I don't like that it happens, but when it does, this is why it's one of the first things that I talk about, why it's one of the things that get pushed to the front of my content, because every time it happens, if I see it, I want to discuss it. The practice of it is deceptive, and leaning into it, even when it's just a possibility, is participating in the deception of everyone. Not just Harry and Meghan, although that would be enough. They deserve to be represented truthfully. And so, being that I have a mic in front of me, I decided today to discuss this very practice of creating a story based on woven possibilities. And then after we have that discussion, someone sent me a challenge. It's a survey that's going to challenge me and my knowledge of Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex. Now, y'all know my memory is bad. So I'm actually excited to take this quiz online. Before you watch me take this quiz live, before you watch me, feel free to use the link in the description box below to take it yourself, and then come back, watch me, and then share your results with me. I would love to know how you did on this quiz. No judgment. I have a really bad memory. So, listen, I'm not going to judge you, but I hope I do well. I feel like if I don't, shame on me, because look at my channel. But anyway, we're going to get into all of that and more. So let's get started. All right, so here is the article. It's titled, Meghan Sussex could return to the UK for the first time in 4 years. The Duchess of Sussex may return to the UK with Prince Harry if their security is assured. Like I said, creating narratives out of possibilities and stringing them together. This is irresponsible. Now, listen, is he saying anything intentionally harmful or rude or negligent? Not really. But is this deceptive? Yeah, because all of this is a possibility. First of all, the conversation surrounding Ravek, they have not ruled one way or the other at this time. Everything is currently being reviewed. And they're taking that things are under review, and we don't exactly know how long that might take. So they're taking the fact that Harry's need for security is currently under review, although y'all know my argument. I have made it a million times and I'll make it again. He should have never lost his security. He's entitled to it. Leave that man alone. That in and of itself has not been determined one way or the other. This conversation should stop there. Now, if they wanted to ask the question, I wonder if, or it would be great if, here's my opinion piece, then label this an opinion piece. Handle things responsibly. And I would love to read people's opinion pieces like that. If you want to write a piece about the many possibilities one way or the other, then write an opinion piece. There's nothing wrong with that. Why create a narrative that isn't set in stone? It's simply a possibility. Why be deceptive when you can literally just write? But they took Ravek reviewing Prince Harry's security and need for security and all things related to that. Then they took the possibility of it being ruled in Prince Harry's favor and ran with that. Now that I agree, I hope they do rule in Harry's favor, but it hasn't happened yet. So making up stories in relation to it being ruled in Harry's favor, again, just more deception. Now, I don't have a problem with Harry getting his security back because he should have never lost it. I think that's ridiculous. He should have never lost his security and he shouldn't have to fight for it, damn it. But creating a narrative based on that, again, it's the deception that bothers me, not the narrative, it's the deception. So they took this review, gave it a ruling. I'm going to make up a scenario that Harry and Meghan are both going to return to the UK for the first time in 4 years, and then let's make that the headline. May, could, and if. If I saw that as an editor, I would say, okay, then this may have been an article if this stuff were true. And could you go write me something real? Like, my goodness, how irresponsible. But let's see how they support this. Okay, let's see. Great picture, though. They're not going to ever get me to complain about their beautiful graphics. They did a great job. Great picture. Meghan Sussex could join Prince Harry in the UK for the first time since 2022 this summer. The Duke of Sussex is expected to be in Birmingham, England for the 1 year to go celebrations for his Invictus Games kickoff. However, his hopes that he will have Meghan alongside him likely hinge on whether he receives the upgrade to his security in his home country. A review is currently underway. How many times did I say could, possibly, if, and likely? At some point by paragraph 2, they should have scrapped this. For most of the previous iterations of his Paralympic-style games, Prince Harry has been accompanied by his wife. She has also attended the countdown promotions, such as in Vancouver, Canada in February of 2024. They were also both in Dusseldorf, Germany for the 1 year to go events in September of 2022. No decision has been made on whether the Duchess of Sussex will be in Birmingham for the celebrations in July, but a major consideration will be whether Prince Harry gets his wish for increased taxpayer-backed security. Now, again, he's being very intentional with how he's choosing to discuss this security. Now, it says a representative for the Duke and Duchess of Sussex had no comment on January 12th. I wouldn't expect them to. What do you want them to say? What did you even ask them? I would not want to go to them with this kind of question. Hey, if this rules in your favor, will Meghan be returning to the UK with you? We have to get through one thing before we can start talking about what's after that. And also, I'm a little bit superstitious, so I wouldn't even want to talk about anything like that until I know for sure what's going on. Y'all could have created an article out of real things going on with Harry and Meghan or Sussex related or any of their organizations. There's so much that you could be talking about. They're always working. Meghan's fashion is always on point. Harry's fashion is always on point. There's always something going on. There's something you as a reporter with resources and access to their team, there's something you could have written about. Why make up a story? And not a good one at that. The whole article is ifs, possibilities, coulds, and maybes, and likelies. They threw in some likelies. They gave us a little variety. This is irresponsible. Also, if you just wanted to talk about Invictus and the fact that the 1 year to go is coming up in a couple of months, and then of course next year it will be in Birmingham, England, and if you wanted to have that conversation as well as how Ravek's decision could impact that, you could have simply had that. You could have simply had that conversation. Why not? There's so many things you could talk about when it comes to Invictus, as well as the fact that it's returning to the UK. Why not have that conversation? But also, why create deception around it? That's irresponsible and lazy journalism. It's not journalism at all. But there should still be some kind of expectation of reputable publications like People Magazine. This is irresponsible. They should not be reporting in the same manner as a YouTuber or a TikToker or someone on social media. Not downplaying those roles. I am on YouTube as well. But I'm saying I did not go to school for journalism. This is a hobby that I enjoy online. This is not my job. It would be wonderful if the people who went to school for this actually handled it with integrity and actually did their job well. Anyway, what are y'all's thoughts on this? And honestly, justice for that fictional bee. That fictional Meghan thumb, okay? Justice for that bumblebee. Okay, y'all, on to something kind of fun. I was sent this article. This is in womanandhome.com, and it is a quiz of how well you know Meghan Sussex. Now, this is actually exciting because I've never challenged myself. I know that I don't have the best memory, and I do my best, but even I have to come back and be like, wait a minute, y'all got that wrong, blah, blah. I'll have to look up things, but that's also why I look things up, because I know my memory will give out on me. But anyway, I'm excited to take this. It's linked in the description box below if you want to take it. So pause this video if you want to take this. Pause the video, go take the quiz, and then come back and share with me what your results were. All right, y'all, here we go. Woo, wish me luck. Question 1. What is Meghan's real first name? Rachel. Now, see, this is the thing. I know the answer, and I'm still getting nervous. Like, okay. Which Netflix show did Meghan star in for 7 seasons? So she starred in Suits for 7 seasons, but Suits is now on Netflix. But when she starred in Suits and when it was originally airing, it was on USA Network. Now that I do know. What was Meghan's first credited movie role? Ooh. Oh gosh. It wasn't the FedEx girl. I feel like it was that movie. We did a royal review of like A Lot Like Love or something like that. Okay, let's see. Hot Girl in A Lot Like Love. I think it's this one, but hold on. Y'all, I'm doubting myself. Bartender in Remember Me. Yep, and she had her real first name, or she had her real name, Meghan. She went by Meghan in the bar as the bartender. I remember that. FedEx girl in Horrible Bosses. I remember her in that. Store assistant in Bridesmaids. Was she a store assistant in Bridesmaids? I don't remember that. Was she? I've seen Bridesmaids a million times. I feel like I would remember. Let's just go with Hot Girl and A Lot Like Love. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, y'all. Oh my God, I was right. Okay. We're almost there, y'all. Question 4. In what year did Meghan meet Prince Harry? Oh, 2016. I know, because that was the year I got married 10 years ago. Woo woo. Where did Meghan go camping with Prince Harry for their 3rd date? No, it wasn't Norway. It wasn't Canada. It was Botswana, the Lake District. No, we're going to go with Botswana. Woohoo! All right, us. We doing good. Question 6. What was the name of Meghan's beloved beagle who passed away in 2025? Oh, we know it was Guy. All right. And oh, no, it's not the last question. Okay. Question 7. What is the name of Meghan's jam brand? Well, it could have been Jam is her jam. I love that she said that. I still think about that. For always, no. Could y'all imagine? Purchase my jam for always. Royal spreads, no, but although that is cute. As ever, there's the right answer. And Sussex fruits. Nope, it is as ever. Good job, us. Question 8. Which of these people has not starred as a guest on Netflix's With Love, Meghan? Mindy Kaling has been on. Tan France has been on. Chrissy Teigen has been on. Serena Williams. Serena Williams was on an episode of Archetypes, her podcast, but not With Love, Meghan. Question 9. Where did Meghan marry Prince Harry? St. George's Chapel, right? Yes! Okay, that one I was not sure. I could not remember. Oh my goodness. Okay. Whew, we got lucky on that one, y'all. Question 10. What are the names of Meghan's parents? Doria and what's his face? The king, what was it? What were we calling him? The Duke of Mexico? Let's see what other suggestions they gave us before we select. Maria and James, no. Sophie and Samuel, no. Jillian and Frederick, no. Doria and Thomas. All right, y'all, we got 10 out of 10. Look at me knowing. Thanks to the person who sent that to me. That was a lot of fun. If y'all have any more like that, let me know. That was fun. Again, this is linked in the description box below. That was on womanandhome.com. That was fun. Okay, I got 10 out of 10, really. 9.5 out of 10 because I really wasn't sure where they got married. I can see it in my mind, but I genuinely was like drawing a blank. So I'm glad they put it as the first option. Anyway, go us. If you took the quiz, let me know in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching the SharionSade YouTube channel. I appreciate you watching my content. If you haven't already, please don't forget to go ahead and like this video by hitting the thumbs up. Please don't forget to subscribe by hitting the subscribe button. And don't forget to comment along the way. If you feel so inclined, please don't forget to share so that more people can find us. Once again, thank you so much for watching. Now let's get back to the video. Now, because today is Monday and school started back, and I'm already loving my classes, but because school started back, I did do an emotional security bun. And I have been greatly reducing how many buns I wear, but also I did find out that it is okay if I wear a bun when they're pushed back. Not as often, but when I do wear one, to have it pushed back and not right here. That was the problem. So now we know, but I'm not banned from buns all the time, just most of the time. So I did do a little emotional security bun today, and I got through the day. Today was wonderful. So I hope you guys are having an amazing Monday and an amazing week, and I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you haven't already, please don't forget to go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel, and feel free to share so that more people can find us. Members, you are getting a new video, and Patreon, as always, y'all are getting a new video. I hope you all enjoy. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.